Hello, everybody. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me for another episode of Conversations with 3J. I appreciate you for stopping by the podcast. As you are listening to my voice, of course, if you are enjoying the content that I am sharing and posting, I want you to like, subscribe, share this with someone else. Going to get them here for a little while. I have to take a moment to just express my heart, to be very transparent at this time. As we have entered the month of June 2026, that's crazy, 6 months into the year. The month of May is always a very memorable month for me. So I'm just going to have a conversation, as is the theme of the podcast, to have different conversations. And the title of today's episode is Total Commitment, the Promise I Made to My Wife. Every time I hit the month of May, I am reminded of the horrific work accident that I went through at Ventura Foods. It was a former company that I used to work for. Started there as a lab tech, left, was able to come back, even work for the company a year in Texas. Came back some years later as a production slash sanitation supervisor. When I was working second shift, I went through a horrible accident. We used to have to clean all the pipes and stuff. My staff did. We had this thing called like a circulation tank where we used to put the pipes and stuff in to clean and soak and sanitize. But we had to heat it up. It's like 170 degrees, 150 degrees. One of the pipes of the tank ruptured, the valve ruptured, and I was hit with water on my body at 170 degrees. I got second degree burns on my stomach, my legs, one of my arms. Crazy accident that happened to me. I was in Loyola's burn unit for about a week, a little bit over a week. But don't want to get into much of that testimony. As y'all look at me now, I'm healed. I still have scars from that. But this conversation today is about my wife. Um, I've been married before. I got married fresh when I was out of college the first time. And over the years, one thing I've learned about marriage, and I'm married now, this is my second marriage, like I said, total transparency. In my 20s, I was not ready for marriage, did not really understand the principles of it, the commitment that it took. When you take those vows in marriage, for richer or poorer, sickness and in health, better or worse, one thing I've learned is that you're making that vow before God, before all in attendance. And one thing my pastor expresses to us a lot of times in church is you're either in a test, going in a test, or coming out of a test. You will be tested in your marriage. You will have moments and situations to see if you are committed to those vows, if you understand what you signed up for. I know many people say that marriage is just some contractual agreement between two people and all this. And people have all these theories about what they think marriage is. And I want to debunk a lot of those theories. Marriage is a covenant agreement between two individuals. Marriage is supposed to symbolize our relationship of Christ's relationship with the church. So there are a lot of other things about marriage that people just don't understand. Do I think people go into marriage very lighthearted, not really understanding for reasons of we had a kid together, or you were liking or lusting after somebody, but you really didn't know if you loved them. So yeah, all those things happen from marriage. And I've also understood that marriage takes work. You have to work at it. You have to really put in time and be intentional and be attentive to what's going on in your marriage. Oh, Jermaine, is this a marriage counseling session? No, it's not, because I don't feel that I'm a counselor. I'm just sharing with you my story and why I'm going to talk about the promise I made to my wife. So when I got married the second time, from my perspective, this is my story. I felt I was more mature. I understood what marriage was about. I was going into it with an intentional mindset that when I take these vows again, I know why I'm doing it. I know what I'm going to be committed to. And if I'm tested up about those vows or any other areas, I believe that I can meet the call of that. The first 5 months of my marriage, and some people call that the honeymoon stage. Me and my wife was just loving each other, smiling, enjoying each other, just glad to be married and be with one another. In the fifth month of our marriage is when I had that horrific accident at work. At that time, I had to be kind of restricted to not working for like a month, almost 2 months. So when you go through an injury at work, you're waiting on settlements to come. You're getting paid, but it's like disability. So it takes a hit to your house. At that time, me and my wife was working a lot together to cook meals, look over our kids. All of the responsibility became on her. But within that fifth month, I saw my wife be committed to those vows that we took. This woman came to Loyola Hospital every day. She was with me every day that I was in the hospital, except for like 2 days. I told her to stay home. She was still working. She would leave work and meet me at the house. She was there tonight. I got hurt. She checked on me in the first 5 months, and I think my wife looks at me as a pretty strong, capable, provisional husband that takes care of his family. I take care of her. But that injury broke me down to my core. I couldn't eat the first couple days, was throwing everything up, was dehydrated. I had a lot of situations and problems. When I got home, I couldn't cook. I needed help to go to the bathroom because of the burn wounds that I had and the pain I was in. If you ever had a second degree burn, that is one of the worst ones to have because your nerve endings are not burnt off. So you feel every bit of that pain. My wife had to literally bathe me, clean me and stuff, and put my burn cream on me for my healing and wrap me up. She, in a matter of 5 months, where initially coming into this marriage, she had her support partner for the next almost 2 months. Everything was on her, figuring out how our bills would be paid, figuring out how the kids, how she would eat, and she had to take care and tend to her husband while all still going to work. So even when she was away from me, she had to be concerned about how I was doing. But the reason I'm sharing this conversation and why I'm so reminded every month, so it's been 9 years since I got injured. In that small amount of time, my wife showed me her total commitment to our marriage. She showed me that every vow that she took, she performed it to a T. Neither one of us expected us. The day that I got hurt, it was a celebratory day. We was one of our children to school. They were getting awards. It was all this great stuff. It was a beautiful day, but a day that ended horribly, horribly for what I went through. But to see her step up and show me, a lot of times we say we love people, but love is an action word. Sometimes we use the word love too loosely. We love people. "Oh, well, you my family. I love you. You this because I love you." But it's actually a word. Love is a word that is action, is shown, is done. And without fail, she was by my side every step of the way. When I came home to work a full 8 hours, but she came home and cleaned my wounds, made sure I was good, made sure that I ate, made sure that I was tended to and watched over me, watched over my children as I had them for the summer during that time. She proved to me that every vow she made to me, that she was going to fulfill it. Thankfully, I healed up a lot faster than what doctors thought I was. And as I watched my wife and just saw her in that moment, I made a promise to her that for the rest of my life, well, Jermaine, you took these vows, but I felt I didn't have a chance to prove them yet in that instance. But I promised to her that I would take care of her and love her unconditionally. I said, if you don't do anything else for me throughout the duration of this marriage, you have done enough in these 2 months and taking care of me, where I'm going to pledge and vow to you again that I'm going to take care of you, meaning I'll cook for you, help you, buy you things, do things. I'll work extra to make sure you have what you want, have what you need. I made that vow to her once again. And I know some of you hearing this, I said, well, if you went through all of that's what your wife's supposed to do. She that's what she signed up for. Can I tell you some people have left people for less? We've all seen marriages annulled in 2 and 3 months. People had disagreement. We've seen people leave for less. For somebody to go down unexpectedly, yes, the expectation is you should be there for your husband or wife. But some people leave people when they go down, and it makes you question what was your intentions when you really devoted and pledged your time and life to this person. And she was so patient with me, so loving, so kind. It was a stressful moment because the work, deal with the household, my husband's sick, and I wasn't like this wasn't no flu sick. Like I was down. I was limited to where I could move, how I could sit up. I spent like the first 2 or 3 weeks just laying down because I physically it was too much pain. It felt like my body was on fire all the time. So I was incapable of being that supportive, protective husband and father that she had known. But I promised her that day that you have done enough. And some of you may think, well, Jermaine, that's extreme. But from my perspective, she fulfilled every vow and showed me that day how much she loved me. And almost 9 years later, she still shows me that. She truly is my rib, the one that stands alongside of me. She is my biggest supporter, my biggest encourager. She is my best friend, my lover. She is the one that I love to laugh with, the one that I can confide in, the one I can be vulnerable with. In the first 5 months, you know, when the Bible says, he that findeth the wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. I thank God that he favored me. I thank God that he gave me another opportunity, a chance at love. So the month of May is not just a time where I remember the tragedy of what happened to me physically, but I remember the promise I made to my wife. I remember she showed me unconditional love, unconditional support. She showed me sacrifice because she had to put herself on the back burner for 2 months and service not only the needs of me, but the needs of our family. And that wasn't easy. Because most people, you going through your first 4, 5 months of marriage, they say, y'all, you honeymoon. Some people say the first year, you still on your honeymoon. You ain't been through nothing. We had been together 5 months married, and we went through a tragic situation. But not only did she take care of me, God took care of us, and we didn't miss a beat. So why am I sharing this? Because I don't know who that person is in your life. Maybe your husband, maybe your wife, maybe your mom, your dad. But sometimes in life, when we are at our lowest, don't forget to show your love and appreciation to those that are there for you when you're down in the low place, when you're down in the valley, when you're down in the place where you can't get yourself out of it, when someone has to take care of you and be there for you. Don't forget to let them know how much that you appreciate what they did. And if you can come back and return the favor, do it in some capacity. Thank you is enough. But sometimes we owe people more for when they were there for us when we were at our lowest. We owe them more, if I could just be honest with y'all today. So please don't forget about those that are totally committed to the provision and care of you. Because now all the time I think about my wife and I love taking care of her, being there for her. But May was just such a significant point where this woman sacrificed everything and stepped up to the plate. And if you know my wife, it's a lot of things she don't have to worry about because I got her. I'm gonna make sure I got it. As God keeps me living and breathing, I got her. I'm gonna take stress off of her. I'm gonna take pressure off of her. If anybody knows me, I tell my kids all the time, don't y'all make the queen upset. Because when she's bothered, I'm bothered. And my first duty as a husband is to make sure she's unbothered, to make sure she's not frustrated and everything like that. If I got to go out and work extra hours, take care, figure something out, I'm going to take all the stress off of her. Because when our family was at a very high stressful moment, she took on the load. And I will always love her and appreciate her for that. So I just want to have this conversation with you. I know she may watch this, and Brandy Jackson, I love you, babe. You are such an amazing person. Words cannot express how much you mean to me, and even to this day, how much you hold me down. I know if I ain't got nobody else, I got you in my corner, and I thank God for the blessing that you are to me. So, man, just wanted to share that today. I hope that this can touch and strengthen somebody else. I hope that you have that person in your life, especially in marriage. And maybe you might be listening to this and saying, I'm married, but I didn't really understand the commitment. I didn't understand the vows. Don't worry, I've been there. But I'm grateful that I had another opportunity. I'm grateful that I was able to mature and understand, and that when I went into this for a second time, that my mindset was different. My purpose, my intentionality of it was different. Okay. I was able to not only love, but to understand and receive that love in even a greater capacity. She showed me, my wife showed me unconditional, unfailing love on a level that I've never experienced it before. And when I needed it most, and I needed it most, because sometimes we go through things and we just need to know who loves us and who's there for us. So that's it for today's episode of Conversations with 3J. I hope this helps somebody. To all my married people out there, your marriage is not just some contract, your marriage is not just some financial agreement. But when you really understand what marriage is about, when you understand the mindset of God for marriage, sometimes do a Google search about marriage and how God sees it. Read the scriptures. That will give you a different perspective on what his intention was about marriage. But to all my married people out there, man, I encourage y'all, keep putting in the work, stay in the fight, no matter what tests come your way. Be there for that other individual. Continue to sacrifice. Continue to love. Continue to stand alongside each other for you, your family, because your marriage is just more than an agreement, but it's an example. It's a beautiful union that is honorable in the eyesight of God. And be grateful for the one that you have, the one that would love you unconditionally, the one that will be there for you when nobody else is. It's a blessing to have that life partner, despite what the world says. I know what they say about divorce rates. I've been a statistic. I know what it is to be a part of that. But I do believe in marriage. I believe in the sanctity of it. I believe in the health of it. I believe in celebrating love. And it is just a beautiful thing that was created if you have a desire to be married. And once again, to my wife, Brandy Jackson, I love you, babe. Thank you for being everything that you are to me. I am so fortunate and so blessed to have you be in my life because you make me a better version of me. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next time with Conversation with 3J. Y'all have a good one. Oh, before I go, I am you, you are me, and we are one. That's one of me and my wife's favorite quotes. I am you, you are me, and we are one. Love y'all. Have a good one.